Ha ha ha. For a brief second, I was about to say that it happened again. That the Vancouver Canucks made themselves a move that totally contradicts a video that we made on this YouTube channel before the video we made was actually public. And for a brief moment, I thought that might have been the case, but no, this video was uploaded at 12 p.m. PST. This trade was at 12:39. Let's go, baby. I am still safe, technically, because the Vancouver Canucks have made themselves an amazing trade. Take a look at this. GM Patrik Allvin announced today the Canucks have acquired Lukas Reichel from the Chicago Blackhawks in exchange for a fourth-round pick in the 2027 draft. Vancouver receives Reichel, Chicago receives a 2027 fourth, and right away you can see all of the responses. Huge win, good job Canucks, Allvin win, unreal trade, low risk, high reward. Lukas Reichel had a 97 percentile contribution per 60 number, 96 percentile paid, I don't know what CNTRB is, power score 97% per 60, individual offense 99%. I mean, bench rates is going out there and saying that Reichel is a very, very good player. Any relation to Jack Eichel? Okay, we're not going to entertain that. So we give Chicago its fourth back for a former first-rounder with excellent pro hockey pedigree who performed well in the AHL but was perhaps mismanaged in development? I'm not seeing any downside here. Good day, sir. You are now our 2C. Now, Pierre LeBrun went out there and said this on Twitter. Reichel had asked for a trade, looking for a better fit elsewhere. Reichel's agent, Alain Roy, said things were not contentious. He credits the Blackhawks GM Kyle Davidson for how things were handled. Says they had been discussing it for a while. Now let's go out there and read the Canucks press release on Lukas Reichel, see if we can get any quotes from the GM. The club has acquired Reichel from Chicago in exchange for a fourth in 2027. The fourth originally belonged to Chicago and was previously acquired by Vancouver on June 26, 2024. Which trade was that? I'm not too sure. Lukas is an exciting young player and someone we can feel can help improve our forward group, said Allvin. He is a talented playmaker who can create scoring opportunities with his offensive ability. We like the way he moves on the ice and his overall work ethic, and feel our coaching staff can help him become better and a more consistent hockey player. Let's look at the profile here, because this is all that matters. Lukas Reichel was a former first-round pick by the Chicago Blackhawks back in 2020, 17th overall. This is a guy who, back in that time frame, was labeled as the next generation of German hockey. Draisaitl, obviously everybody knew him, but then in 2020 you had Stützle, Reichel, and I believe JJ Peterka was also taken in that year as well. Let's just see right here, 2020? Yeah, 2020. So there was a wealth of German talent in the 2020 NHL Draft. Reichel was second out of the three. 6 feet, 170, left-handed winger center, 23 years old. He's got a lot of time to develop. And his scouting report on Elite Prospect says he is an unrelenting forechecker and backchecker, never gives up on a play, and wins battles through second efforts. Reichel is a pretty capable puck handler too, even at top speed carrying the puck through a defender's triangle, showing a predilection for outside-in maneuvers and deploying weight shifts to avoid contact. The Elite Prospect Scouting Report Guide labeled Reichel as a B prospect, and a guy that you can probably say had a lot of first-round upside. This is because back in 2020, in his draft-eligible year, he was playing for Eisbären Berlin in the DEL, the top pro men's league in Germany. He had half a point a game, so that's really good, admittedly. 24 points in 42 games. And also, as a youngin', he had 5 points in 7 World Junior games for Team Germany, which is not an easy feat. The fact that this guy was already playing World Junior hockey at 17 years old was quite significant. And he took that experience over into the next few years. He took that experience and was able to carve out a very good international profile for himself. I mean, he's always making Team Germany. He's always scoring over a point per game for Team Germany at the World Championships. I mean, just take a look at it. He had 6 points in 9 games in 2021. So back in that time frame, he was only, 19? And then when he hit 20 years old, that's when he started to produce 5 points in 4 games. At 21, he didn't make the team. At 22, 7 points, 6 games. At 23, 4 points, 3 games. So this guy, Lukas Reichel, has been a very consistent international producer, and his AHL numbers are really strong too. 51 points in 55 games with Rockford in 23, 8 points in 10 games with Rockford in 24. Last season, he played full-time in Chicago, had 22 points in 70 games played, but Chicago wasn't great that season, and if you look at the ice time, I mean, Lukas Reichel was getting anywhere from 8 minutes a game, 7 minutes some nights, to 15 on others, but it was just not consistent. I mean, this guy was not properly used by Chicago, despite being a first-round pick with a lot of talent attached to his name. Now, in Vancouver, Reichel has a very specific role that he's hopefully going to be able to fulfill. He is going to be probably the second-line center for Vancouver, and that is not surprising when you consider the results of who's available and who's not. I mean, Sasson, Ratu, and Oman are the Canucks center core right now. Reichel adds a lot of depth in that respect, and of course, Reichel is only 23 years old. He can be a lot better as the years go on. So, Patrik Allvin sending away a 4th-round pick for a guy that can have top 6 upside as he gets older and as he continues to develop. I like this a lot. Now, from the Chicago POV, there actually is a reasonable reason to do this. I mean, this is what the folks on the Our Blackhawks subreddit went out there and said. It's likely that the Blackhawks want a roster spot to bring up someone from Rockford, and they couldn't send Reichel down without waivers. So a 4th is better than someone just claiming him and us getting nothing at all. I'm going to miss his goofy interviews and his TikToks. Even without Reichel, we still kind of have a roster crunch up front because Blash runs 11-7. That means we still need to scratch 2 forwards per game, and that becomes difficult now that Foligno is back and Dickinson should be good to go on Sunday. Bedard, Donato, Nazar, Teravainen, Bertuzzi, Foligno, Dickinson, Mikheyev are never getting scratched. Probably not Burakovsky either. That's 9 of 11 forwards locked in, which means you have to either rotate Doc, Slaggert, Green, and Lafferty through the final 2 spots. Lafferty has done little to impress, but you probably have to play him at least once in a while, just to keep the peace if KT isn't going to cut him loose. And it's unfortunate to have to sit one of Doc, Slaggert, or Green every game because they've all looked pretty good. Adding Oliver Moore to that mix doesn't help. Even if you let Lafferty go, that's still 2 young forwards getting scratched every other game, who otherwise could be playing big minutes every night in Rockford. The point is, this Reichel trade may just be opening up playing time for the guys already on the team, and GMKD may wait for an injury that's worse than day-to-day to bring up Moore or someone else from Rockford. So, from the Chicago POV, this really does look to be a trade for roster space. Yeah, okay, the bro got traded for a bag of pucks. I was rooting for Reichel in the long run, but he just can't get it together. Hopefully he benefits from a change of scenery. This user says a 4th-round pick was the most we would get for him. He was drafted 5 years ago and has been consistently underwhelming. The only reason people think he's good is that he's fast and he skates past a few people sometimes, which 99% of the time leads to absolutely nothing. He's a far worse version of Ilya Mikheyev. Steve Dangle called Ilya a busy nothing player when he was with the Leafs. Skated real fast to do absolutely nothing. So we'll see whether or not Reichel can change that reputation in Vancouver, if he can be a little bit better than Ilya Mikheyev was, because that guy's also in Chicago. Go figure. But if you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button. If you didn't, the dislike button's down there for you too. Thoughts in the comment section below about Vancouver acquiring Lukas Reichel for a 4th-round pick. That's it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments because comments help out with the algorithm and I'd really appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.